Oneiros can finally continue his mission to stop the Egyptian Telkin. He leaves Memphis through the Gate of the Sphinx and heads towards the Giza plateau. But I think we've got some catching up to do, because in the last episode, Oneiros got his first skills in the Neidan mastery, and I'd like to explain what these skills do. We first have the Potent Elixir, which raises health regen, energy regen and some damage over time resistances whenever Oneiros chucks a potion. The modifier from this skill is Inner Equilibrium, which gives a bonus on movement speed, attack speed and casting speed whenever Oneiros is not under the influence of a potion. Then there is this tiny little ability called Consequences, which gives you a chance to reduce the enemy's resistances whenever you deal damage to them. The chance is quite low for now, but we will change that soon. Combine that with the modifier Mutual Suffering, and you have the chance of a mass reduction of enemies' resistances. It grants you the chance to cast Consequences whenever enemies that are under the influence of Consequences die. With these new skills, Oneiros fights his way through desert hags, vultures and undeads. Not too long after that, he reaches the Giza plateau, where a few quests are waiting for him. The first one is waiting in this catacomb filled with ghosts, desecrated dead and maggots, where a man has awoken his family's ancient guardian beast. But first there is the All-Devourer, a chunky lad, and quite unusual looking, so I thought you might want to see this big lump of a maggot. Further into the cave we find the man and the awoken beast, and I guess that it gets clearer and clearer that maybe a new piece of armor wouldn't be a bad idea. The beast deals a lot of damage, so Oneiros has to disengage a few times, but ultimately the Phantom Strike and the Distort Reality are good enough to take it down. Oneiros then enters the tomb of Khufu, where he has two tasks: stopping the monsters from opening an ancient sarcophagus and retrieving the Staff of Khufu. The first quest is easily done: kill the Jackalman mage and you're good. No monster is going to open the well, yeah, I think it's going to be fine. A bit deeper in the tomb of Khufu, Oneiros finds Khufu's sarcophagus. Upon opening it, 4 giant undead mages appear and try to kill our hero, but go down easily. We then have to play the waiting game, as the staff decides to shake around for a bit, an annoying little feature of Titan Quest. The last thing to do here is to enter the Sphinx and retrieve the Hand of Balance. Some more undeads, ghosts and zombies try to stop Oneiros and reveal the arcane formula for the Soul Shiver. Very helpful as it raises our damage output and lets us convert 9% of the attack damage to health. The heart of the Sphinx is in this room that is filled with 4 shrines that, when they are destroyed, awake the walking sandstone guardians. Fighting against them is a bit more annoying than dangerous. It takes some time, but the skill Consequences helps by lowering the resistances. You can see these golden orbs above the statues that indicate the effect being active. And here we have it, the Hand of Balance. Which means we can leave the Giza plateau and head on over to Fayum. And after a small passage filled with maggots and beetles, we arrive in the Fayum desert. Oneiros takes a quick break at the Fayum oasis, talks to some quest NPCs, and then continues with his tasks.
It's true the caravans have stopped coming. Once I went into the desert, I wandered far, far into the desert. Suddenly...
The first thing on the list is this massive cave, where we can go deeper, 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 and even deeper. And at the bottom of the cave we find nothing too special in the normal difficulty, to be honest. A tiny little stash of treasures is all we get here. Time to continue with the important stuff, getting the Eye of Chaos. For that, Oneiros has to fight Neheb at the Temple of Atum. That giant man-eating Scorpus King seems tame at first, but on second look, yeah, still really tame. Good fight, Scorpus King. I'll go get the Eye of Chaos and be done with the temple. So Oneiros enters the Fayum desert once again to slap some Jackalmen and Dune Raiders. One of these Dune Raiders is Isnu, the Dune Raider chieftain, who we need to kill for the quest Caravan Woes. Isnu goes down easily, and so do the other Dune Raiders. Last thing to do is to find the hidden treasure, which will be in this cave at the north of the Fayum desert. After a quick fight against the inhabitants of this luxurious, small apartment, Oneiros finds that the real treasure of this cave is the experience we got along the way, because these chests are, to put it lightly, somewhat subpar. With the treasure uncovered, Oneiros can conclude the field trip to the Fayum desert and head back to Memphis. The way leads Oneiros through the Canyon of Isis. Nothing bad could possibly be associated with that name, and he destroys some Jackalmen and diseased vultures. Further down the road, Oneiros enters the Sobek plateau and kills more of these sanded Egyptian enemies: beetles, Jackalmen, vultures, and sand wraiths. But we can also get a more unique fight against the hero monster which regularly spawns here. Sand Queen Masika guards the giant chests, uses her fiery attacks to burn Oneiros, and disrupts his skills. Good thing though that the attacks don't deal too much damage. Bad thing is that the majestic chest is not really worth its name. Good. Let's continue to the desert waste. More scorpions run around in this part of Egypt, and we find another ancient tomb to explore. In this tomb we find Hanif the Cruel, a mummified hero who, spoiler alert, will drop a blue item. Finally. I bet you didn't expect that though. The letter to Mummy. I will read that out right away, because there isn't much left to say in this episode. All that happens is Oneiros gets back to Memphis, turns in the quests of Giza, and gives Imhotep the Eye of Chaos and the Hand of Balance. Next time we'll go to Thebes and hopefully complete the Valley of Kings. So, the letter to Mummy.
The Eye of Chaos.
Dear Mummy, camp has been great. I've earned lots of merit badges, and Mr. Smithicus told me I was better at bandaging and first aid than anyone had ever seen. We also get to see a guest speaker every Wednesday. You should come. Then everyone can see that I'm related to a famous rapper. Their food is awful though. They don't know how to cook a decent meal for us undead folk. I wish someone would make the chiefs earn their keep. Really, it's a pretty grave situation altogether. In fact, yesterday something on my plate moved. I was really creeped out. Anyway, enough about me. How are you doing down there in the land of sunshine and monoliths? Still making money off that pyramid scheme? Keep it up, and you'll be set for life. I bid you farewell, Uniti the Unshriven Jr.